Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Thanks for coming to my presentation. Here I will present about my idea named CaSaVa, Capsule Safety Fan as an innovation technology of evacuation disaster victim in Indonesia. Here we will begin about a current situation. Geographical conditions have an important influence of the life of the country, but in the economic, political, cultural matter, and even others. Indonesia is an archipelago which is located between three confluence plates, namely the Indo-Australian plate, which is moved to north, and a Eurasian plate that moves in south, and the Pacific plate that moves west. Such conditions make the occurrence of pressure of the Earth's lower layers which cause Indonesia to have an uneven morphology. In addition, Indonesia is also surrounded by a row of active volcanoes from west to east, so that the country of Indonesia is called the Ring of the Fire Country. Discuss frequent phenomena of earthquake and volcanic eruption. Okay, and the next, the evacuation process is slow and use conventional technology like a canoe for evacuate victim for flood, and I think that's not effective. The Meteorology, Climatology and Geophysics Agency said that up to December 2019, there were 343 flood events, 340 landslide flood accompanied by landslide in 5 locations, and 554 tornadoes. The long drought this year helped trigger 52 forest and land fire and smoke disaster. In addition, seismic data state that in 2019 there were 573 earthquakes, including 344 earthquakes above magnitude 5 and 17 times destructive earthquake. Based on the map of earthquake activity seismicity during 2019, it appears that the most dense earthquake activity cluster occurred in the areas of Nias, Lombok, Sumba, North Maluku, Sea Ambon, Banda Aceh, and Sarmi Membrana. Now, based on this background, the author offered an innovative idea named CaSaVa Disaster Evaluation Technology, the collaboration between land, sea, and air transportation for effective evacuation process. The formulation of the problem is 1. How does the working system of CaSaVa or capsule safety fan, and the second one is how is the implementation of CaSaVa system in the effectiveness of natural disaster evacuation activity in Indonesia. And the purpose is 1. Knowing the working system of CaSaVa, and the second one is knowing how to implement the CaSaVa system in the effectiveness of natural disaster evacuation in Indonesia. And then I will explain about the benefit of CaSaVa or capsule safety fan. The first, from victim or natural disaster, is to help victims of natural disaster save families. And the second one, for government, it minimize the number of disaster victims, increase the life expectation index of Indonesian citizens. And the third, for the NPB and SAR team, it can simplify the evacuation process because the CaSaVa is used 3 technology. And from author, it's helping writers to contribute creative ideas is an effort to improve the welfare of Indonesian citizens. The design of the CaSaVa is inspired by the unique eco capsule, and for the material use carbon fiber, which has advantage including strong and lightweight even the steel. For the technology, CaSaVa combines drone technology, both engines and land technology. So, CaSaVa can be used in all areas in disaster. It can fly in the air to save victims of landslides or earthquake, can float in the water to save flood victims, and can drive on land. So, it is multifunction. CaSaVa is powered by 8 electric motors connected by 8 propellers in a double-belt coaxial design. It uses electric power to reduce environmental harm caused by emission. The aircraft can be charged by 2020-volt or 380-volt power supply in 1 hour at that fast. The charging device can communicate in real time with the Aircraft Battery Management System or BMS. Electric engines or planes allow cruise speed of 130 km per hour, and the minimum flight duration is 30 minutes, while the maximum flight range is 35 km, and the model of water mode uses outboard engine technology, so it can set to float in the water during a flood or evacuate victims in a watery terrain. The autonomous flight real-time network connection, the technology of autonomous flight, eliminates the possibility of failure or malfunction caused by man-made errors. 4G and 5G as the high-speed wireless transmission channel for communication smoothly with the command and control center, thus enabling remote control of the aircraft and the real-time transmission of flight data. Okay, in this slide, the implementation of CaSaVa transportation will run well if there is a synergy of mutual cooperation. Following are some parties who can support the implementation of CaSaVa transportation. The first is Transportation Technology Company or Agency. Domestic transportation companies can play an important role in implementation CaSaVa as a provider and assembler. The second one is a government. Government support is needed to help realize the CaSaVa capsule self-defense. The government, as a policy maker and regulation maker, will be determinant of the implementation of CaSaVa. More especially, the National Disaster Management Agency, which regulates Law Number 24 of 2007 concerning disaster management. Okay, and the third is National Disaster Management Agency. CaSaVa or Capsule Self-Defense transportation can be used to help SAR team simplify the process of disaster evaluation because it combines 3 technology at once jump in all area of disaster, so it's more effective than the. And last is resident and victim of disaster. Resident as consumer of the service to be offered will be more assisted in the process of disaster evacuation because it will be faster than before. Disaster victim will be more helped by the technology offered by CaSaVa. Okay, here we'll go to the schedule. Okay, for the schedule, in the first year, we will do the planning program and socialize to government and technology agency. And then we start to design and assemble the product. And then we do the flight testing and quality certification, and after that we do the evaluate this program. Okay, and the last is a conclusion. The conclusion for all material that we discussed today is the first. Capsule safety van is an innovation technology of evacuation disaster victims that can use in all areas of disaster. It can fly in the air to save victims of landslide, of earthquake, and can float in the water to save flood victims, and can drive on land, so it's multifunction. And the implementation of CaSaVa requires cooperation from various related parties, namely companies or transportation technology agency and the government, the National Disaster Management Agency, as well as community members as disaster victims. The more victims saved, the faster community career or economic activity. The faster the economy recovery, the post-disaster area. Okay, thanks for your time. Thanks for the attention. And I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.